have to introduce the star speaker of the day, the celebrity speaker from Mumbai, Dr. Himanshu Mehta. He himself looks like a hero. And I couldn't imagine. I was seeing his two daughter and son, I believe, by his side, and they probably look like younger brother and sisters. So Dr. Himanshu Mehta he's the director of Vision Eye Center, Mumbai. He's trained with Dr. Charles Garcia in Houston, USA. And he is always full of energy and always smiling. And I'm sure that's the reason why he gets all the pretty actresses from Mumbai visiting him. Probably they come to look him up more than show their eyes to him because of his vibrant personality. He's a very proficient cataract and LASIK, glaucoma, squint, vitreoretinal. Anything else left? I think maybe oculoplasty. I'm sure he'll try that also. He's done published a lot of research papers nationally, internationally, and he's a speaker at various forums on international forums. And he's been actually felicitated by the great Dalai Lama himself. And he's been awarded the prestigious gold medal for his contribution to ophthalmology at IRISI refractive surgery at Chennai. So over to Dr. Himanshu, and he'll be talking about the tear breakup time. Dr. Himanshu, over to you now, sir.
Thank you very much, Kamal, for a wonderful introduction. आपके मुंह में घी शक्कर, with all those pretty babes that you're talking about. कहीं ना कहीं सच हो जाएगा. But they're all right now with you. Thanks so much. Having a wonderful time here. An excellent video that we have. We had good presentation. Things are going so well. Here is a very interesting presentation that you've given me to talk about dry eyes. The talk of the time today in the Corona times. What we are looking at. Tear film breakup time. Very important, very, very important scenario. This is what happens.
Sharing your screen, boss. We don't see the screen share. Okay, now got it.
So this is what is missing actually in life. And which is why the tear film breakup time doesn't happen. You see that? Yeah. So with excessively watching television, your high screen, your phone, computers, and your WhatsApps and your Facebooks, every which way, people have stopped blinking. They are glued to their television. They're glued to their phone. They're glued to their smartphones, every which way. Instagram, you can't miss what somebody else is doing or cooking. So every minute the eyes are exposed. So the tear film breakup time, which is there because of the blinking, very intermingled with that. So several factors are involved in the pathology of dry eyes. Most important is disturbance of the tear film physiology and, of course, clinically evident drying of the ocular surface. Blinking plus tear film are responsible for the protection of the ocular surface. So both are equally important, blinking and the tear film. So we'll talk about, my talk would be on the blinking rate. The blink rate is altered in the following condition. Average, we have about 8 blinks per minute, which means about 12 seconds we blink every 12 seconds. And if you're watching something very interesting, you might just do it 2-3 times. That's unfortunate. Environmental condition, air conditioning, heavy winds, cognitive activities, visual task, emotional status, diseases, as I said, thyroid, menopausal women, they all have problems, ocular surface conditions, LASIK cataract surgery. How often every cataract surgery, boss, after a deadly surgery Kamal has done with a 80-year-old brown cataract, shallow AC, one-eyed patient, he has done a wonderful job. You know what? After 10 days, she fails. Doctor साहब surgery अच्छा नहीं किया आपने. आप फेल हो गए. आप मुझे खटक रही है आंखें. आपका लेंस खटक रहा है. Now she's seeing very well. Everything is perfect. But the biggest thing that comes in your way is the dryness and the tear film breakup time, which is responsible for us to get to our problem. So what are the factors which are affecting blinking? Alteration in temperature, humidity, lighting condition, airflow directly facing the air conditioning, and the cognitive activities, visual task, emotional states. That is during the conversation, during intensely focused, when you're concentrating on somebody, listening to somebody intently, you tend not to blink. So during intently focused visual tasks like emotional excitement, anxiety, frustration, guilt, everything goes for a toss. So there is a huge psychology element involved in the tear film breakup time and the blinking phenomena. Factors affecting blinking, diseases and medication, Parkinson's, diabetes, thyroid ophthalmos, schizophrenia, blepharospasm, ptosis, psychoactive drugs, muscle relaxants, thyroid. I keep repeating because that's very common in women and a lot of men also have thyroid problems. So the blink rate in dry eye with reduced corneal sensitivity is 3.2 times per minute, a reduction of about 57% versus normal people, which is huge, Now look at the tear film breakup time. As you blink and you open, and As you can see, the black areas coming up, that's the area where the ocular surface is exposed to without any tear film. And that's what is going to give you the problems. The tear film and blink both have a role, as we discussed. Tear film, the ocular surface homeostasis, moistens and lubricates, transports nutrients and oxygen. Whereas the blink removes the debris. It's like, remember, I keep telling patient that on your windscreen in your car, it's your wiper which is not working well. During monsoon, if your wiper is not working well, you will not be able to see clearly. What this does is it makes lovely tears which spreads properly and you have an even feeling. And that is the most important part of blinking. The wiper was given to you free of charge. You just did not have to mess it. 8 times per minute, subconsciously, we were doing that very well. It helps in discharge of the meibomian gland secretion because every time you do that, there is pressure on the eyelids and you can have the meibomian gland secreting the lipid. So it distributes the tear film and helps formation of the tear film and not allowing it to evaporate because the basic ingredient of the lipid layer, the aqueous layer and the mucin layer, once that gets disturbed, we have problems. So in addition to tear film, blinking has a role in ocular surface protection. However, the tear film breakup time is more commonly used in assessment. Its TBUT is insufficient. Its common parameters for dry eye assessment, quantification, does not factor in the interblink interval. Now, this is a very important point that I wanted to mention. We keep talking about TBUT, but there is something more important. IBI, the interblink interval. So how much is the interval between two blinks or the duration on which the ocular surface is exposed after the TBUT? So once you have blinked, how much time are you exposed to the foreign, the wind, the temperature around you, the dust, dirt particles? So blinking during various activities, resting is 8 to 21 per minute. Computer, when you start using intent study, then you're listening to Kamal's talk, it is less than 4 times. During conversation, when you are tense and you're proposing to your girlfriend, it is 10.5 to 32.5, or when you are lying. Reading your newspapers, 4.5 per minute. If you are reading about the stock market when the market is going down, it's even less than that. You can't just close your eyes. And blink rate decreases 5 while watching television, a display unit, a visual display unit. So LASIK, of course, we all know LASIK has been blamed plainly for disrupting the corneal sensitivity and the iatrogenic corneal nerve damage, the plexus which is damaged, the corneal nerves which are creating a problem. The other factors that may cause dry eyes is the damage to the goblet cells, which occurs using the microkeratome. There is a post-procedure inflammation of the ocular surface. So we can blame LASIK for multiple issues. But I tell you, in personal experience, the worst has been actually the patient. Most patients who complain are LASIK patients, are the cataract patients. In fact, quite a few of my contact lens using patients who have done LASIK surgery have stopped complaining about dryness because the cause of contact lens has been removed. So the worst are the cataract patients, and they keep cribbing for 6 months that they have pain in the eye and that you have big problems. And that too with a 2.2 millimeter lovely sharp blade incision. Now what Kamal said, the previous talk, how important it is the incision, because if you don't want to have an uneven incision, a jagged incision, or rough incision, the sclera and the conjunctiva and the cornea being messed around with a lot of inflammatory cells there, if you don't have a smooth incision, you will have a lot of inflammatory areas and a lot of inflammatory cells, which will give rise to dryness and give patients the breakup time. It will give like a foreign body sensation. So the TBUT is insufficient as a parameter. The number of seconds quantifying a patient's tear film breakup time provides insufficient pathophysiologic information for the clinician to fully understand the nature and severity of the cases of dry eyes. The concept of ocular protection index, very important again, to quantify interaction between the tear film breakup time and the blink rate. As I said, tear film breakup time, interblink rate, and the blink rate, a concept called as ocular protection index, or the OPI, was developed. OPI provides an essential tool to assess the association between the tear film stability and the dry eyes. As you can see here, that the tear film breakup time and cycle repeats. If the TBUT is less than the interblink, if tear film breakup time is less than the interblink interval, ocular surface remains exposed after the film breakup. And that is where problems start. The red signals and the red flag starts doing that. And consistent interbreak time, blinking time increase gives rise to a lot of dryness and inconsistency in the tear film. Factors that shorten TBUT and prolong IBI can damage the ocular surface. So how do we calculate the ocular protection index? The OPI is calculated by dividing TBUT by the IBI. It's very simple. So it's no big deal. Tear film breakup time upon the interblink interval. So when you see that step 1, step 2 is calculate. So if you have result of less than 1, unfavorable as ocular surface is exposed, and if it is more than 1, favorable because the tear protected ocular surface. Clinical relevance of the ocular protection index. It indicates dry eye severity. OPI may indicate a person's risk for development of dry eye signs. Degree of discordance between the TBUT and the blink interval measured using the ocular protection index suggests the severity of patient's dry eye condition. OPI can help identify a person susceptible to dry eyes in absence of symptoms. Very important. An educational tool. We can have a very important thing to educate patients when they take their own video as to see what is the interblink interval and the ocular protection index can be shown to them that how they're protecting their eyes. Treatment. OPI enables measurement of effect of treatment on the ocular surface unlike the TBUT. The ocular protection index also enables evaluation of integrity of the tear film in response to the treatment, and it is a good parameter for evaluation of effects of treatment in clinical research. Ways to improve the TBUT. The ocular protection index. It's very, very interesting. Such small things can change. Yeah. So it's the OPI indicates a dry eye severity. It may indicate a person's risk. Can be effective tool. And ways to improve the TBUT. OPI can be increased by increasing the blink rate. Simple. The first video which I showed, more winking from college time to regular activities can help you, blinking and winking, or increasing the tear film breakup time. Increased blink rate needs subjective efforts. To remind somebody to breathe deep regularly like a pranayam is an effort because we subconsciously breathe. 1/3 of our lungs are filled up, but you have to tell somebody to make it a habit, and a habit takes about 3 weeks to form for any kind of substance. So which is what we have to teach these patients the first thing, including when they come for our A scan, to blink properly, make them blink, squeeze their eyes, and then do our A scan. So it's a very important thing which we miss out in clinical practice because of the lack of time. But tear film breakup time is very important and can be increased by use of artificial tears. That is, you change the tear film besides changing the tear film breakup time. So as we can see, there is a great relation between tear film breakup time and the blinking. Is a measure of both tear film stability and ocular surface. Improvement of OPI suggests positive impact on tear film stability. And PEG, HPG, all possible things that we have can help us treat the ocular surface. Over to you, Kamal. This is to tell you about the tear film breakup time that I wanted to talk a little more about. Kamal.